Good evening, teacher. Good evening, classmates. In this case, my friend Kevin Fuentes and me, Walter Araujo, talk about the article of the Washington Post. In this article, it's about the murder of the Afro-American George Floyd by a policeman. In this presentation, we will answer the following questions. The first question for we answer is, was the paper published in a magazine or newspaper? The article was published in a newspaper in the Washington Post for the date 29th of May of 2020. What is the title of the article? The title of the article is Former Minneapolis Police Charged with George Floyd Death and Protests Continue Across the Country. What is the style of the article? The style is informative and interpretative. This article sent directly the new and with the interpretations of the protesters, he is also interpretative. What is the tone of the new? The tone of the new is informative, but it explains in the detail what happened with the death of George Floyd by Minneapolis police, as well as what happened with the police Derek Chauvin, the murder, and your case is transferred to Hale. At the same time, is also interpretative for the collection of testimonies of people who are in the place protests against the racism. The article does comply with the aforementioned ethical principles when, dealing with a scientific issue, such that the murder of the man by incident of the racism, being direct with the information, but at the same time understand the voice of protest of thousands by the hate crimes.
Dance for the past, Walter? Well, in this image, we can observe social manifestation through art for George Floyd. What is the article about? The article is about how the authorities began to file charges against former police officer Derek Chauvin, who asphyxiated the African American citizen George Floyd, pressing his knee to his neck for 8 minutes until his death. The article explained the charge against Chauvin of third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter come quickly in legal terms. He also talks about the wave of protests that have started over racial crime, the declaration of the governors of Minnesota and Minneapolis, and the declaration of Donald Trump, which were strongly criticized, explain how dangerous the situation is in the North American country. With the coronavirus epidemic, the economic downturn, and now with the social problems that leads the country to undergo a crisis. Then, do you have a recommendation for the writer? The only recommendation that we could give to the writer of the article is that when he touched such a broad topic, he should have separated it in the subtopics. He spoke at the beginning about the Floyd case, and in the protest, he places all kinds of testimonies. If he had separated them, it would be more understandable for a certain number of people. For everything else, their writing is very correct. The conclusion at the end of reading the article is to rescue the facts of the newspaper to report in such a situation, collecting the necessary information so that what happens can be known with truth. Racial crimes cannot be easily forgiven, and without the need for aggressiveness, there must be protests in the right ways to show the American government that its citizens are equal and all deserve the same rights and respect. The review. Well, review is the despite the crisis by which many parts of the world are suffering from the pandemic COVID-19. Violence, violence caused by anachronistic thoughts of race inequality are still witnessed in the 21st century. That's it all.